What's that like? What's going on, people? Hey, it's another edition of the What's That Like podcast, and I'm your host, of course, Johnny Knowles, right back at you again with another podcast. Second one in 2 weeks we're going for here. And our guest this week is going to be Zach Wygal. You guys, if you've listened to the show, you know Zach is a big part of the show. This will be his third time on the show, and he's coming back this year to discuss the 2018 version of the Hillsboro Concert Series. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, I want to thank you all. Facebook page hit a big milestone this week. It's the same time the video views crossed over a big threshold as well. I mean, recently crossed over 200,000. 200,000 people have watched videos on the What's That Like podcast Facebook page. Most of that, of course, is all due to the Queen of Hearts, and we thank you. But certainly the exposure that gives us can't quantify it enough. Thank you for all that. We've got 2,000 people that have liked the Facebook page, 2,300 people total when you add in what they call followers. It's unimaginable to me how we got that big this fast. So thank you all. Just awesome. Thanks to all of you. Big announcement this week. Obviously, the second annual Turner Fest is coming up in September. And I'm happy to announce, if you haven't seen it already on the social media, that I will be the MC, the voice of Turner Fest this year. I was supposed to help out and do some of the afternoon stuff last year. I just couldn't make it. I got ill and kind of at the last minute, and I left Randy in the lurch. Randy Birch, that is. He's the promoter. And I'm happy to be back and help him out this year. So I'll see you out there at Turner Fest. Big headliner this year, Jeremiah Johnson Band. And that's going to be good. So I can't wait for that. That's in September. Was supposed to record yesterday, but some unforeseen circumstances canceled that. A podcast with Rob Hoffman. And Rob, of course, you know him with his little band Hotbox. And Rob, I want to give him a shout out anyway, because he's going to come on and promote the big show he's got coming up with Power Man 5000. He's opening for Power Man 5000. That's Rob Zombie's brother that actually fronts that group in St. Louis next week. Or I should say this week. It's on June 1st. And that's going to be a big show that if you want to go, there's a shuttle running from Staunton. Smitty's shuttle service will take you there, so you don't have to worry about getting there and back safely. Just go to Save the Music Records on Facebook and get all the details there. And other than that, I just want to kind of give everyone an update. We're going to bring the Rack Almanac back. Everybody loves the Rack Almanac. When we had the Rack Almanac on last year, giving tips from the garden, he's kind of my crazy neighbor. We all love Rack. He's my, if you ever watched Home Improvement, he's my Wilson. He's the guy next door that you want to have as a neighbor, and we're going to bring him back. We're going to do it video style this year. He does a lot in his yard, a lot in the gardening, and I think a lot of you that do that thing as well might want to see some of those things. So we'll get that out there real quick to you as well. Other than that, let's get started here. Zach Wygal. Of course, you guys love him. You know him. He's back to, not only does he do Stamp Out Cancer, big part of Imagine Hillsboro, he's taken over the entertainment at Hillsboro's Old Settlers this year, but he's here to talk about the Hillsboro Summer Concert Series and the lineup that they've got. Great event. I've attended one of the shows last year. It's great. I'm probably going to hit 2 or 3 of them this year. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think you will like it too. So Johnny, seal of approval on that, and let's get right at it and find out what it's like to be Zach Wygal and promoting all these great shows. Here you go. We're back, Zach. You're back on the What's That Like podcast. How excited are you to be here, man?
I mean, almost as excited as yesterday being my last day of school. I will say you interrupted me doing nothing today.
Is that the best day of a teacher's year?
Oh, hands down.
Yeah?
Hands down. That or the unexpected snow delay or, snow day.
Well, this has got to be better because the snow day.
Still, I mean, us teachers watch that, or at least some of us watch those weather patterns like a hawk, and we are looking forward to it more than I was a kid. I mean,
can you explain to me? This is, I think that a lot of people want to know the science of the snow day. Okay, so since we got you on, and we're totally off topic, but that's what you're great at. So I want to talk about the science of the snow day and how does it actually work? Because I swear to God, there's some days it's bad. It's a little bit of snow, and it's the wind chill's a little bad. But it can go for 2 or 3 days. And by the third day, everybody's just like, well, you know what, cold or no cold, we're going back.
Yeah.
And it can be colder the third day than it was the first day you called off. Why does that happen?
Well, one, because there's no rhyme or reason to any of this. And that's what I've realized is you'll wonder why the town next to you just called off, and then here are you. I think it's worse here. And no, there's honestly super cold days, yes. Certain amount of snow, yes. More rural areas like Hillsboro where we have to take our buses out to all these small surrounding towns. But no, there's really no rhyme or reason because I'll walk outside and be like, it's worse today.
Yes.
I guess I can go in, but I'm going to be bitter. Just a little
You're going to be bitter about it.
I'm going to be bitter about it.
This is one of those things that our common friend who happens to be a superintendent of a certain school system, let's just say maybe 30 miles to the east of where we're sitting right now, or to the west.
That mascot.
To the west.
Uh-huh.
It's got the ugliest mascot that there is.
Ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ever. And they celebrate it daily.
And he loves it when we talk about him anyway. So
that's true. I get it out of the way right off the bat.
I'll say this. You're probably our number one fan, Zach.
Oh, I'm a huge number two.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But I ride back and forth to work to St. Louis with Mrs. Skirtage.
Yes.
And I go, well, what's the deal? And she goes, I don't know. He's been up driving for like 3 hours, and then he decided it was time to call it off. Or it's, nope, we're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to this.
No, there is not.
So this is the kind of information you get here on the What's That Like podcast, that there's a fact, we've got it from a couple of sources here that there is no rhyme or reason to snow days, as we talk about it on an 85-degree
No, but we have like a storm watching team, a group of us teachers.
Do you?
Where we make predictions.
Is this an official group on Facebook? Or
yes. It's the most trusted school cancellation team in the Midwest.
Yes.
And we make pretty good predictions. But the best is when you start seeing the towns fall like dominoes.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's coming. We got to be next. So the percentage starts going up.
Do you have anyone on the inside?
I don't, but it's funny. Our superintendent, David Powell, one of the times, because so many people would follow our thread, actually made the announcement first on the thread. And he goes, what did he say? He goes, and this has no bearing on Zach and his merry band of weather psychos. He goes, we didn't cause them to call out school, but he did, and he made it. And it was hilarious when he made the announcement, there first before it even hit like WSMI or anything. Like, it was there, right there.
Zach and his merry band of weather psychos.
Yeah,
that's a good name.
Yeah, I thought about taking it on the road.
Yeah, you should. Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly you could form a storm chasing group or something.
Oh, no, we don't want to leave the comfort of our house.
Yeah, that's
too much, because we're already planning, getting that Netflix queue filled up and things like that.
You got things that you hadn't planned to do that now you're planning. And
what pajamas I'm going to wear all day next day?
Yeah, I got you. All right, so
here I am.
So here you are, and the reason I brought you back is because we are on the cusp. I don't want to say the eve, but we are on the cusp once again of the most exciting series of musical events that happen here in Central Illinois. And of course, I'm talking about
the Hillsboro Summer Concert Series.
That is correct. And why don't you give us a little preview of what's going on with the Hillsboro Summer Concert Series this year? I know it's an action-packed lineup, and some changes have been made, and some of the folks are probably going to hear about it here for the first time.
Our first one's coming up June 2nd, and super excited about that one. But the first change that people are going to notice is that it's no longer going to be at our campground stage. I mean, I love the campground stage. I love the acoustics. I love everything about it, but we're having to run a shuttle. There's just no parking.
It's a logistical problem.
Logistical problem like no other. And we've noticed that, because we'd always have at least one show at what they call 4th of July Point, which is right before that stage. It's right past our beach. It's on the old Lake Hillsboro. And we noticed that those shows were well attended. But then again, it was 4th of July. So figured, maybe if we just move our 3 of our shows there, that we'll maybe get better attendance. Because, I mean, our attendance has been it's been growing every year. But I want to take this to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I want to see like just how big we can get with this thing. So that's the first change they're going to see. And the second, they're going to notice that I'm not there cooking food. None of us are going to be there cooking food. We're actually outsourcing it. Local service organizations. So like the first one's going to be the Lutheran Church of Hillsboro to help pay for a field trip or a trip that they want to go on.
Okay. So they're raising money.
They're raising money.
Another organization gets benefit out of this.
Absolutely. Then they're also going to see the first show is going to be awesome. Oh, one other thing that was a change is we actually hired a dedicated sound guy that's going to be at every single show, because we also realized that sometimes bands wouldn't bring, they would bring, speakers, but sometimes like, oh, we did not plan it was going to be this open air, things like that. I mean,
right.
you've done sound before.
They're set up for a small club or a courtyard or a patio, not essentially a big open air amphitheater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got Shane McGuire, Max McGuire Sound.
Does a great job.
Does an awesome job. He does Turner Fest this last year. And we booked him for all of our shows. So we're looking forward to partnering with him, because it's another local person. And plus, we've also noticed that bands will come and be like, oh, dude, we ain't got this cable. Do you have one of these cables? I'm like, wow, no, but he at least he'll know people, or can run back and get it. So we're good there.
And it'll be consistent. So when
consistent
you show
sound.
up one time,
yes,
it sounds good, and maybe the next time you go back, and the band might be better, but sounds worse, and it's not as good as an experience.
Exactly. So a consistent one. I like that word.
Yeah, I didn't invent it. It's been around a while, but
I have to look it up. But it sounds like it's what it's supposed to be, But anyway, so our first show, June 2nd, they are called the Bashful Youngens.
The Bashful Youngens.
And I am so excited about this. Seems like every year I get a band that I think is going to be on the cusp of great things. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually wearing the shirts of one of them now. They're Old Salt Union, who we've had twice. And I remember the first year we got them, they'd only been together, I think, 9 months. And but they took off. Their music videos took off, and now they're signed. That's their full-time job now. They are touring. They're opening for some pretty big bands actually around the U.S. right now. And but so anyway, the band that we have here, the Bashful Youngens, I saw after a Ben Folds show in St. Louis. That was at the pageant. The Halo bar is connected to it.
Right.
I checked them out a little beforehand just to see who might be playing there. Was really impressed with what I saw, but I was even more impressed when I saw them live. And it's like a Americana type of music, almost like a Monsters and Men meets, I don't know, like an older Mumford & Sons type of thing. But it's kind of popular music right now. And the other part of that is that I have a friend, Harmon Jordan, who's originally from Hillsboro. He's in a pretty popular band around Champaign called the Dirty Feathers, and that's where the Bashful Youngens is from Champaign.
Okay.
And I texted him, and he was like, you got to get them. He goes, no, he goes, trust me. He goes, I've played with them before. He goes, their price is only going to go up. So everything worked out perfectly. They're excited. They're actually right now, this weekend coming up, playing at Summer Camp Music Festival, and which, I don't know if you ever heard of Summer Camp.
Is that a
Chillicothe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's normally headlined by like Mo and Humphrey McGee and things of that nature. But they're heading up there this weekend, and then the following weekend they're going to be in Hillsboro.
Right there in wonderful Hillsboro, Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still the rest of the setup's the same. I mean, we still have, you can bring a chair, bring, your own cooler with whatever sounds good to you. And
yeah, now I attended one of the shows last year, which was it was the Voodoo Eagles, and that was one of the 4th of July.
Yes.
And that was
Sean Cannon's
Voodoo Players, and they did a night of the Eagles. And it was great.
Yeah.
So why I bring that up? The setup's great.
Mm-hmm.
You come out, you park, it's easy to get there. Mm-hmm. Bring a lawn chair, plenty of seating. It's open. You're not going to be crammed in next to everybody. You don't like who you're sitting next to? You move over 45 feet, and there's still going to be room. But the crowd is good. You're getting hundreds of people out there.
Yeah.
And it really is a nice event now that you've got the food and everything. I think that's going to be great. So the Bashful Youngens, Champaign, Illinois. I'm sure you can look them up on YouTube.
They are on YouTube.
And all the different, are they on Spotify or anything like
they
that?
are on Spotify.
Yeah.
Their album's on Spotify. And you'll also notice that they have some really good covers. I mean, besides just their originals, but they recently did a thing called the Great Cover-Up in Champaign. 27th annual, the Great Cover-Up. Mm-hmm. And what the Great Cover-Up is they take bands from around Champaign, and this is spread out over 2 nights at a couple different venues. There's the Civic Center and also Canopy Club, things like that. But each band they're going to pay tribute and dress up like that band for the night and play like a set, probably like 8 songs from them, 7 or 8 songs. I think there was about 6 from them on YouTube, and they decided to dress up and pay tribute to Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
And it was phenomenal.
What song so they did 8 songs by Hall & Oates?
Like 6, I think there's about 6 on each. I'm trying to think how many, but I was watching it.
All right, well, let's take a listen.
Holding on my hand, this could be a mess. We said we'd have to drown, now I must confess. The clouds have gone away and we'll count to 10. Watch my world turn dark, now it's coming back again. All we got is time, put your hand in mine. I look man high in the deep. All we got is time, put your hand in mine. I look man high in the deep. I let him out high in river deep.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're fun. They really are. But yeah, we're looking forward to this one because I even saw them covering Beastie Boys when I was in St. Louis. And I mean, when you see that like in a bluegrass type of thing,
it's the dichotomy of the two different things that really make it go together. It's something you didn't expect, but that's cool. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that, but that's going to be from 6 to 9, same time frame there. Yeah, we're pretty pumped.
All right. So what's the next show after that?
Then we're gonna move on to our 4th of July show. Mm-hmm. I actually did want to bring back Sean Canna, but he actually has a standing date at Broadway Oyster Bar on Wednesdays, and 4th of July just happens to fall
on a Wednesday.
Yeah. But so we did find another band. They're called Revolution.
Yes.
I went through the same booking agency that I use for Stamp Out Cancer.
Right. I want to see this one.
Revolution. Their main thing is they want to just cover songs from 1964, 1969. Harmonies are great. We're looking forward to that because I think it's going to be a nice little send off to America, having these guys out there playing some tunes.
And you always get the fireworks afterward.
The fireworks will be after, and earlier that day. Coming back, the Cardboard Boat Regatta.
Yes. So let's talk about that a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is something I have not yet seen, but I've seen him in the past. I gotta get over there.
You have to.
I want to see this.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I am dumbfounded by how many people show up to this, and how everyone just has an absolute blast. Because I'm looking around, and it's like there's a lot of people.
So
here.
like last year, how many entries were there?
I think we only had about 12 entries.
Yeah.
And so,
and the point of the regatta is basically what? Explain it.
Well, they go out and they have to circle around a buoy and then come back.
We'll talk about the boats.
But they're also they're made of cardboard,
and that's the rule.
Cardboard and duct tape.
That's all you can use.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, cardboard and duct tape.
You can't float. You can't wrap it all around a bunch of inner tubes.
No. We actually looked at some other regattas, things like that. And this is another thing we took from Carbondale, from my years of being a Saluki. Uh-huh. That's a big thing every year. Every year there at the lake that they have on campus is the boat regatta. So we took that from them as well. But my thing is, though, I want to have a maximum amount of entertainment. Because when you only have like 12 or 13 entries, it can go pretty quick when they're there and back, especially a few that just don't even make it past the starting gate.
Right.
But so I pretty much run every boat until they sink.
Now, you got to be at this point. This is what, the 3rd or 4th?
This is our 4th year.
So people got to be getting better at this.
They are. There are some pretty good craftsmanship going into this. And I would hate to know how much they spend on some of these boats. Mm-hmm. But because all they're getting, and this is all they want, is Tony Marcolini of Marcolini Construction makes these paddles. These big long oars. And people just want to hang that, on their mantle place.
Well, it's a major award.
It's a very major. Yes, it's a major award.
Yeah.
So this is something that money can't buy. You have to earn it.
Exactly. Yeah. So back to so that's early in the day.
It is.
You've got Revolution playing again 6 to 9.
Yes.
Followed by fireworks, that's on Wednesday, July the 4th proper. Let's take a listen to Revolution. Give them a little love here.
Feeling bad all over the side, bad all over, baby, I'm bad all over, and you're mine.
So yeah, great song by them. I think I'm going to make it back for that one. I can't make it to the first one. I'm on vacation, but the second one I want to see. And then things change for shows.
Things change.
3 and 4, correct?
Yeah, I used to do the Saturday after Old Settlers celebration in Hillsboro, but they came to me and asked if I would take over the entertainment for Old Settlers in Hillsboro, and I instantly said I go under one condition. I'll do it is if I can incorporate this to my summer concert, and I get to thank my sponsors there. And so they agreed, and that's the route we took there, and I'm pretty excited to be able to now bring that into the summer concert family, is bringing the type of music that I think is good for the area to our town celebration.
Well, I think it's number one. Where's it at?
It's downtown Hillsboro,
right on the east side of the courthouse.
Right on the east side of the courthouse. Yes.
Right. So the parade route runs by it.
Right by it. Yes.
Next to a lot of the food, some of the rides. It's just a great carnival festival atmosphere.
Yes.
And you've got 2 shows.
2 shows, yeah. We're going to do the Wednesday, Wednesday, August 1st, and that's going to be Cary Miller Band. Cary Miller is a local one in the area. I'm going to try to keep one night local. Last year it was both local, but I still, as I think back to the days when we used to have the Beatles tribute band and the Smash band out of St. Louis, things like that. I'm like, I want to try to also get back to that as well, but that's going to be on the Thursday. Anyway, so Wednesday, Cary Miller Band. Country artist from around the area. He's got them playing at Busch Stadium. It's called Boots at Busch, something like that. So he's going to be on Wednesday night. Thursday, the big night, the main night, Petty Cash Junction. Petty Cash Junction out of St. Louis. They're actually a Hall & Oates. No, really. They play nothing but Tom Petty and Johnny Cash.
Hence the name.
But it features who's in the band. Jimmy Griffin is in the band, and Jimmy Griffin, if people don't know who that is, of St. Louis fame, he also helped start El Monstero. He's in that. I mean, they're playing Riverport or whatever it's called, Hollywood Casino and everything.
Verizon Wireless,
Verizon,
whatever it is.
I'm giving shout outs.
It's Riverport. As long as we're alive, it'll be Riverport.
Yeah, yes, and also Street Fighting Band, who I had for Stamp Out Cancer one time. So him coming back, this will actually be his 3rd time in Hillsboro, but 2nd time with Petty Cash Junction. So we're really looking forward to that show. That's actually creating a lot of buzz in the area as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The Old Settlers, if you've never been there, it's a little bit different. It's not a weekend festival.
It's not. It's a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Right. And I will tell you, it doesn't hurt the crowd.
No. But I think we could probably get a little bit bigger of a crowd on the weekend. But hey, what do I know? I am technically on their board now for Old Settlers, but I also kind of let them know that I don't want to be get my hands in any more pots here. I'll do the entertainment.
You can't change all the tradition at once.
No, but I was like, I just want to do the entertainment. That's it. I don't want to have to take on more things. So you got on Wednesday, Cary Miller Band, and on Thursday, August 2nd,
Petty Cash Junction.
And
they will start. It's not a 6. Those aren't 6 p.m. shows.
Yeah, those are normally around 7:30 or 8. I would say closer, maybe to 8. Just depends, because on Wednesday I had the Queen coronation, and then Thursday it's the parade. They just start after that.
Right. Any announcements you want to make about this year's parade?
I am gonna have a float for Stamp Out Cancer, and I think we're gonna have a polka band.
A polka band?
Yeah. They're called Retro Rocket.
Yeah.
They have such hits as Polka Polka.
We've got. I happen to know those guys in Retro Rocket. They've got a lot of hits.
Yes.
They've got the Polka Polka. They've got the Rocket Polka. There's the
Shot Through the Heart. Polka's to blame.
Polka's to blame. Hit me with your best polka. That's a good one in there. Message in a polka.
Oh, hang some polka on me.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of great polka hits will be played during the parade by the Polka Rocket, Retro Rocket. We're not playing polka, but that's probably, I will tell you, Zach, as a member of the aforementioned Retro Rocket and being just, it's an honor, I will say this, to be partnered with Stamp Out for so many years. We've done, I can't tell you how many fundraisers. This will be our 3rd year on the float. We love that.
It is too much
The thing
fun.
is, and I shouldn't say this, you don't pay us a dime
to
do it, and we don't want it because it's number one. It'll be the biggest crowd we see all year. We're probably 4,000 people.
Yes,
and they see us for 35 seconds at a time, and that's what I find is so much fun. Is just when we go down that parade route and the massive people on each side, and they start singing along with some of these greatest hits like 8675309 polka polka, whatever it might be, or and they're all singing along and having fun. And you know what, my phone blows up. It's like, hey, saw you, that was awesome. To me, people that would never come out to one of our normal shows see us there, and I think that's just a hell of a great time, and we really appreciate it. I'll say it for all of us in the band. Thank you for just allowing us to do it. We have a blast.
I don't know if there's any other band that like. We're very appreciative, that you guys do that and all the shows you played for us. But two, it takes a fun band, and you can tell, like, well, anytime you see Retro Rocket live, how much fun they're having when they're walking around, interacting with the crowd and things like that. Like, it takes I think a special band to even one agree to say yes, I'm going to ride on a float and play, but two, also have fun with it. And you guys do have fun with it. I mean, that's a perfect mix.
Oh, and I tell you what, I almost fell off that sucker twice last year. When we came around that corner, Pat, would have been the north side of the courthouse, and you kind of go down the road, and then you hang, I guess it's a right turn. We hit a little bump, or Tony Marcolini drives the truck that pulls the float, and I think it hit the curb, and I went flying sideways. I thought I was a goner.
But you made it.
I made it, yeah. And then we survived to play the rest of the show, that night. We did
that night, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the opportunity every year. So, and the dates on Old Settlers are
August 1st and August 2nd.
August 1st and August 2nd, and I couldn't be remiss without playing you a little clip. Let's start with the Cary Miller Band.
She likes the whiskey straight, no chaser. I think that she thinks that I'd like to chase her. I'm out there dancing, looking like a fool, yelling at the bar band, crank it up, gonna have some fun, yeah. Redneck free for all at the white trash ball, gonna crank it up. It's a small town Saturday night, we're feeling alright, y'all gonna stomp it out.
All right, like you said, new country guy, lots of good stuff there, and then of course
Petty Cash Junction.
Let's play a selection from them too.
Here comes my girl. Here comes my girl.
Oh, I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. And that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antonio.
Whoa, yeah. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you wreck me too. Shoot me, honey. Yes, yes.
Oh, you big mouth woman.
You long, big guitar, big man. You come knocking on my front door. Same old line you used to use before. I said, well, yeah, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what I was getting into.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm already gonna be there that night.
Good,
So I'm
good,
sticking around with those guys.
Good.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so that's 4 down.
That's 4.
One down.
We got
one more to go.
One more to go.
And
this one happens September 1st on a Saturday. And I have to give a shout out to my big brother Chris Wygal. He's the one that turned me on to these guys. And they're called the Good Time Engineers out of St. Louis. Good Time Engineers, I'm trying to piecing together like how he knows them. Chris knew them because he's heard them around St. Louis, and during the mid 2000s, they were starting to make a name for themselves around there. They actually won Battle of Busch Stadium twice, two different times.
Really?
Yes, but then they kind of broke up. Happens, but now they're back together, and I don't know. They're starting to play shows again and stuff like that. And Chris, I heard these guys. They do have, an album on Spotify. I can't stop listening to it. It's kind of like a funk rock. It's going to be definitely one of the harder bands we've had, but it's more funk rock. I know that one of the guys, the lead guys, plays the piano in it as well. It's interesting. Indie music at its finest.
I can't wait.
So we're really excited about that to bring a more of a, I don't know, more of a cutting edge, I think.
And the name is again the
Good Time Engineers.
You know, and all the cool bands, you know, if you're really going to be, you got to have like three parts of the names.
Yeah.
Good Time Engineers.
Yeah.
You mix stuff up. You know, that's a good way to do it. Let's take a peek Let's take a listen to what these guys sound like.
Came in, but we came here to sing. Had a few drinks, not much of anything. It's alright, no place down home. It's alright, it's got a long, long way to go. It's alright to let the telephone ring. It's alright if you let it rap away. It's alright with a little place called home. It's alright.
All right, that's funk.
Yeah.
I like the funk.
Yeah, it's good
got to
stuff.
bring the funk.
Yes.
Yes. James Brown is dead, but we got the Good Time Engineers.
Yeah, they're good stuff.
So that's awesome. You know, once again, you know, the summer concert series. This is the second podcast we've done on. We did one about a year ago. Last year went great. This one will certainly be an event or a number of events you don't want to miss as well. Just speaking from experience, if you trust old Johnny here, go see this thing. I mean, it's fun. We did the 4th of July one last year. Great night, great evening. After I came back and, you know, told everybody else wherever they went for fireworks, I went, yeah, but did you get a concert with it?
Yeah.
You know, and the answer was no.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think I encourage everyone to go over there. We'll probably have a little, you know, whatever one I can get to, I'll have a little What's That Like Nation section.
Oh,
You know,
perfect.
maybe we'll have some wristbands.
There you go.
You know, we can get some little exclusivity to it.
Oh, absolutely.
You think we can pull that off? Can we get a
absolutely.
roped off section?
Whatever you need. Whatever you need, a bodyguard?
Bodyguard? I think we're okay.
Oh, okay.
We're okay with that. Hey everyone, quick reminder, before we get back to the rest of the interview, I want to give a shout out to one of our partners, Ageless Apparel. They make a lot of great t-shirts, a lot of great products. If you've got an organization or just want to get some t-shirts made for your special event or occasion, give those folks a shout. You can find them on Facebook under Ageless Apparel. Just search Ageless Apparel. You'll find it. Austin and those folks will get back to you real quick. Quick turnaround time, quality products. Love those guys a lot, and great partners of me here on the What's That Like podcast. They make all of my t-shirts for me and do a great job. Thanks a lot, and let's get back to the interview. So summer concert series, 5 great events. You got sponsors for this. You don't put this on for free. You work for free, but all of this stuff costs something. But you've got sponsors that really deserve a shout out.
They do, because and it's some ones, you know, that they believed in us, you know, for many years now. We have our top 2 sponsors, our presenting sponsor. I mean, these are $1,000 sponsors here. This is, we're talking All Scripts, which Care Otter, based out of Litchfield, was one of our sponsors for a couple of years, but they're also in the same building as All Scripts. And, we're really excited to, they keep coming back and believing what they're doing there, and especially all they're doing for the area. I mean, really, like it's so cool to have a tech startup, a tech company in our area, and they are one of our presenting sponsors once again. So it's moved from Care Otter to All Scripts. Care Otter got their product out, and there's a lot of exciting things that's happening over those guys over there. So I can't thank them enough. And also Giffen, Winning, Cohen, and Bo Davis. They are based out of Springfield. But they also have an office in Hillsboro. Chris Shear runs that. Chris Shear is, a good friend of mine. And I can honestly say they're a great firm. They have ties back to Abraham Lincoln and things like that. I've had the fortune of using them. Top-notch people. Top-notch people. We have our major sponsors then, which is the 4 banks in Hillsboro, which is CNB, TCCU, First Community, and National Bank. I mean, I can't thank them, because it's kind of cool that they're almost like in a category of their own, that all 4 of them got together, and they're our middle sponsors. Then we have our individual sponsors, which are Hayes Braces, Hurst and Roche, Springfield Clinic, and State Farm in Litchfield, Mark Sterin.
Great.
Over there. So, Yeah, no, I mean, these are free concerts, and they're bringing, people to the area, and I'm still can't thank them enough for believing in, what we're trying to do there by putting on these shows.
So basically, you're coming out, you're getting a free show. There's
a
food
free
available there. That's going to go to some of the other local organizations.
Yes.
You're probably still working on who some of those might be.
Yeah, well, we only need them, honestly, for two. Yeah, the food for two of them, because the rest are normal vendors. So.
That's okay. And anyway, just great event. Tell us a little bit about, again, why you do this.
Well, like why I put on the concerts.
Why
and
you
stuff?
do this? Yes.
I think it's because I get bored and I realize that I just need to. No, this started. This will be our 9th year, and I remember when the bug got put in my ear. And this is actually this predates Stamp Out Cancer even. Mm-hmm. It used to be put on by 2000 and Beyond. These concerts now are put on by Imagine Hillsboro, an awesome registered nonprofit that we have there. But it used to be 2000 and Beyond, and they needed their very last show that they always did with their concert series, and it used to be downtown, was Montgomery County's Got Talent, and they needed a host for it, and so they asked me to host it, and I never did anything like that before, and I think it's because I actually hosted the first Pause Trivia as well, like the first one ever, as a Lions Club in Hillsboro. They asked me to be the quiz, the guy reading the questions. It wasn't even on a screen or anything. So after that, they're just like, well, would you like to just take it over? Because Leslie Pollard was doing 2000 Beyond as well. So I don't know, but we started with no money whatsoever, begging people, to now we have a much bigger one. But I just have a love for music. I'm not gonna. I mean, this is something, because being a school teacher, I have summers off, and it's just, I don't know. It's cool. I get to pick the bands. I get to hang out with the bands. I mean, yeah. I guess that's another title that another hat I wear is promoter. Yes. But it's, I mean, never in my wildest dream. Let's say like when I was in college and I was going to watch The Urge, 2 different times, tearing the place up, or even when I'd go watch them later at the pageant, or I'm seeing them, at a Riverport. I never thought I was going to be hanging around with Steve Ewing. I mean, in Hillsboro, in my hometown, getting to bring him to my hometown and hang out with him. No, it's just fun. Yeah. And I mean, we are a nonprofit, and don't get paid for any of this stuff, but I get paid by memories, I guess, if that counts. So,
well, I think, dude, I've said this to you before. You got your, crap together over there in Hillsboro, and you're a driving force to that really, you've become kind of the envy of a lot of the other towns in the way that they rally the community, get behind the cause, go after it. I don't see that in many of the other towns in Southern Illinois, the way that you guys have done it. And I think you're a leading contributor to that. And I know you're leading by example, number one. There's there's people playing catch up now. And I think you are inspiring some other things. Randy Bursch here in Mount Olive. Mm-hmm. I know Randy now. Yep. You didn't know him a year ago.
Did not.
Randy's following your lead here in Mount Olive.
That's awesome.
And he started Turner Fest,
which
benefits Turner Hall. They give some money away to some different things, but Turner Hall's kind of a sponsor on it. And we don't even have to talk about Turner Hall on this podcast anymore, because good gosh, we're practically partners. But with the Queen of Hearts, and you came over for that all the time too. But certainly, I mean, you've inspired him to go after some of these folks.
Well, I look at it as small towns are like a blank canvas, because now that when businesses were moving out and stuff like that, you would say, hey, I had this idea, and before it even came out of your mouth, people would be like, just do it. It's fine. Just do it. Unlike bigger cities, you might have to jump through hoops, get, different. Yeah. No, they are looking for people to help them, grow and stuff like that. And I'm a firm believer in this area, Montgomery County, and I'm sure there's many fine towns all throughout the United States. But if you want to, I can't sit back and complain. I hate when people complain about my town, nothing to do here. It's just this or that. I'm like, well, then do something.
Well, you just said something there. I want to stop you. It's now people go, well, just go do it because it's a blank canvas. But on the other hand, many of the people in these small towns will be like, that'll never work.
Yes, and
that'll never work.
Ran into that many times.
And it's hard not to feel that way at times. But you're proof that if you dream it, you can do it. I mean, it's one of those kind of Walt Disney kind of quotes, but damn it if it's not true.
Yeah, but you can honestly make it how you want it. If you're bored in your town, well then bring something here to make it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I do more of like the entertainment side of it by having events, but there's so many, awesome things happening in Hillsboro, and I know some of it was just a direct correlation to when Imagine Hillsboro got started a few years ago. Because we had different branches of it, and the whole goal was ultimately to bring more businesses there and things like that. Because even when talking to people that were at Care Otter, and I remember him telling me, he goes, you make your town great and things will come like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you put on not just events, but clean it up and show that you guys aren't looking for a rescue. Too many towns out there saying, well, this closed. We just had our mine shut down. Our glass factory's been closed for many years. There's our power company, is teetering on. We don't know what's going to happen there.
Right.
So we can sit there and just say, someone come save us. But most companies don't want to come in and just bail out your town and say, oh, there's someone that really could use a jolt. No, because they also want to bring workers there and people that want to live in that town and go to their schools. People don't understand that. It's not a matter of saving. They also have to recruit people there to come work.
Right.
And,
well, how big is Hillsboro?
4,600 now.
So 4,600 people. And you got the coolest theater.
Hands down.
Within 50 miles.
Absolutely. I can't say enough about them. I was just there the other day. And actually, just this week, on Monday, one of our last days of school, Imagine Hillsboro wanted to show this thing called Dream Big.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about STEM, and science in the classroom. It's like a 45-minute long movie. And we actually took shifts walking our students up to the theater in the morning to watch it. So like 6th grade went, and 7th grade, and 8th grade, and we sat there, and all the teachers went. And the theater, did it, for us to show these kids, what science can do for you.
Great theater.
Mm-hmm.
You got one of the best main streets around in terms of just it's growing. There's a new building on that main street.
Yeah, it's starting to fill. The good thing is things are starting to fill up.
Right. That's awesome. You've got the courthouse on that square, which is just iconic.
It is.
And I just think that's just an amazing little thing. You got a brewery opening.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that. And it is actually one of my best friends, Jeremy Schmidt, and another good friend of mine, Tony Marcolini. They've been taking their time. But they also spent, like a year researching of just trying to, perfect, recipes and things like that. But no, I already told them whatever you need during the summer, I'll come up there. I'll work for free because I just want to see this place succeed.
The stuff they're posting online, the ceiling, the architecture, the stuff that Tony's making, just graphics wise with the wood and the woodworking. It's just, look, I can't wait to get over there.
Talk about a dreamer. Tony is one of those people that can visualize his dreams.
The thing is I want to have those guys on our show, but but to me, that's going to have to be a video. I don't even think sitting in this room will do that story justice.
No. And just walking around, cause they haven't started on the upstairs and stuff yet, but just Tony explaining, where everything's going to be, how it's going to look. He's got it. He's got it all up in his head. Yeah. I can't wait for that because it really is. It's kind of a popular thing now, having a brewery.
Right.
It's kind of like, how wineries were and still are, about 10 years ago. But I think that people it's going to be like a destination spot on the weekend for people like, oh, did you hear about this brewery?
Yeah.
The Opera House Brewing Company.
I can't wait. I don't drink wine.
Yeah, neither do I.
But beer, I like the taste of it.
Yeah, so do I. And they're slowly getting me to like more and more craft beers. I really like their IPA. I really like their, of course, I've got to sample a couple.
Yeah, they're doing their own brews, right?
Yeah.
I felt real lucky back in January, Wags, because they months from opening, obviously, but they had a contest to win, or basically they had a contest that if you submitted the name of a beer that they could create, a custom beer, that they would give you 2 tickets to Stamp Out Cancer.
That sounds like a fun event.
And I won.
Yes, you did.
And, I won. I took the 2 tickets, but the name of the beer that I named was In Your Father's Honor.
Yeah. Oh man, it's already. No, honestly, it's already slipped my mind.
It's Stamps Wygal.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
So that will debut there.
And thank you for that.
That's I came over there. I took the 2 tickets. I'll run right out of town with it. But bottom line is that's there for your mark, man.
Yes, thank you so
yours.
much. Yes, no, that was awesome.
And I hope that Tony and Jeremy let you approve the flavor of that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll give input.
Yeah, you should have the input on what Stamps Wygal tastes like. The whole Wygal family, that should be your signature brand.
I'll see if they'll let me. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to hear my.
I just want a 6-pack to put right here. I don't even know if I'll drink. I'll have it right here on display here in Studio 312.
Like the Cardinals commemorative bottles. This will be
yes,
perfect.
Absolutely. So that was my. So coming back to Stamp Out. I got tickets to that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we talked about it a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been going on for 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I never went.
Mm-hmm.
You came up to me that night. You go, "What do you think?" I don't even know what to think. I was speechless, man. I was totally speechless. The level, the energy, the band, Platinum Rock Legends was unbelievable. I've never been to anything in a small town like that. That was the best big time event in a small town I've ever been to. And if you're listening to this and you've never gone, don't, because I won't be able to get tickets if you guys buy them all up.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, unbelievable job you do. You set a record this year?
Yes. Yeah. There was 90,000.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Which brought your 8-year or 9-year total to almost $500,000.
Yeah,
right?
we're almost there. We're gonna be at $500,000, I think, after this next year.
And Stamp Out Cancer, tell the quick story about what that is. They missed their first episode.
Well, yes, it's based on my father. Passed away from a brain tumor, but he was also a mailman in town. Nickname was Stamps, and was just looking for a way to give back to my community of putting on. It was just supposed to be just a night of bartending. I was just going to donate my tips because I was going back to school to become a teacher. And here we are. We've changed venues, we've changed formats, and yeah, we sell out in 9 minutes, and it is insanity. And I was this year I was super proud of it because we had like a little bit changing of our team and stuff. And I mean, there was something about the magic in the air that, because you get to a point, like I was getting to a point where I'm like, you think, is it ever going to turn the other direction? Is this not going to be, is it going to stop selling out? Are we going to not raise as much? And I'm okay with that. I know that, everything ends sooner or later. I didn't think it was going to be coming yet. But I was like thinking, is the writing on the wall going to start popping up? But no, this year reinvigorated, because I was, I think, getting a little bit of burnout, but no, I'm back up on cloud 9, and I'm and the whole team's ready for next year, and it
was a great event. I mean, just unbelievable. Everyone you see there that's never been there like me, I brought some friends with me. Mm-hmm. We just looked at each other with like jaws agape. Like, this is just crazy. And so congratulations again on a wonderful year there. Everything that you've done, all that money benefits the Montgomery County Cancer Association.
Yeah, for Stamp Out Cancer.
And that's just unbelievable what you guys are doing to support all that. And just wow, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome, dude. Don't even know what else to say. But all right, Wags, you're on the show again. We've got to do something silly. I've asked you all the other goofy questions I think I could ask you, so I got to come up with like new things to play. And it's not necessarily questions, but I think you've proven yourself as the only the 3-time guest of the What's That Like podcast.
3-time guest. So if I come back 2 more, do I get like a robe? Because they have the 5-timers club on Saturday Night Live.
You will get a T-shirt with a 5 on it. It'll look like right up there in the corner, like Laverne and Shirley had.
And if you ever have any other 5-time guests, I have to be waiting for them when they go in our separate room.
Exactly.
And they're smoking cigars and... Oh, I'm glad you made it back.
And the 5-timers club, absolutely.
But 3-timers, I'm very honored, honestly, for 3 times on here.
Well, I can't thank you enough, because you really, you know what, dude, this is something, number one, if you're out there and you like the show, please go on to iTunes and give it a review. You know, I appreciate that. It really helps the show out. It boosts it up in iTunes searches. I'll admit it though. I like doing my show, but I'm not like oh my God, what are people saying about my show? I didn't go on into iTunes until just the other day, and I read one from Sir Wags. So I figured it must have been from you, and you called me, and I thought it was the best thing. I actually just laughed out loud. You said I was Bryant Gumbel crossed with Johnny Carson, and the show was built on like, you know, I don't know, sweat and tears and magic, or something like that. So whatever it was. And then the next one, I have no idea who the next one was. Somebody had said something like, "This show is so awesome, I can't thank him enough. John is so funny, and I just want to hug him." And it was just a string of characters. I have no idea who it was, but thank you. If you ever find me, tell me who you are, and I'll give you a hug. But please go out and review the show wherever you listen. If it's iTunes, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, we really appreciate that. Matter of fact, if you leave a review and you leave your name, I'll shout you out on the show. So
there you go.
So Sir Wags, thank you for the review, and I want to thank SMOTEC or whatever it was. I'll give you the hug if need be. I want to thank. So I'm going back. My mom left me a review. I want to thank you for that one, Mom. But it is appreciated if you do that. So thanks, Wags, for the review. I appreciate that.
You're very much welcome.
You're always quick to retweet that there's a new episode available. I appreciate that as well. That helps out.
It does. Yeah. I mean, social media is a powerful tool. Yeah. And I mean, people it's because it's the great thing about it. A lot of it's free.
It is. Mostly it is.
Mostly it is.
Sometimes I think that, like Facebook, for instance, Zuckerberg, is kind of killing it a little bit, charging for what the ads cost and how many people you can reach. But some of the other platforms, you really can't beat ground roots, word of mouth. I can run an ad on something, but, somebody that respects you, when you retweet something or you send it out on Facebook, that's your friend. They're taking your word for it that it's good. So I appreciate that a lot. What do you want to rant about? What's a big thing in your world that you just want to go, you know what? If you had a microphone here that you wanted to rant about for 5 minutes, what would it be?
Right now, I'm working on my master's degree, and I've switched gears to actually it's going to be a degree I'm going to be the first one to graduate from Edwardsville with. It's going to be called diversity training, but basically I'm just mixing what they call learning culture and society classes with computer classes. But what I've been focusing on is poverty in schools. And some of the things that happens with that. I'm hoping that they're going to have to approve my thesis come, it's not thesis, it's actually what they call an action research project. And I'm wanting to focus on a thing called lunch shaming when I do it. And have you ever heard of lunch shaming?
No.
Exactly. And most people haven't. Do you know what happens in Mount Olive if someone has, let's say, an unpaid balance at the school? Let's say, and it reaches a certain point, what happens to that kid when it comes to lunch?
Yeah, I do know this because my wife works at the school, and I don't even want to say it. The kid doesn't eat, or they get water and literally like water and bread or something.
Yeah, ours get a cheese sandwich.
Cheese sandwich, I think that's what it is.
Cheese sandwich.
Yeah,
and that bothers me. And so, it really does, because I'm a special education teacher, and sometimes in our field, I deal with some lower, income families, and sometimes it's my students that are on a daily basis could be getting, like a cheese sandwich. Now, there's actually some awesome groups getting together in Hillsboro right now that are pooling money together just to pay off balances like that. But I mean, I even we have it to where they can't walk across stage if they owe a balance, for
graduation,
or they can't, and they can't go to let's say I had students who couldn't go to an 8th grade dance, even though they had great attendance, no discipline, stuff like that. So I'm wanting to look beyond just the lunch shaming and things like that, because I don't think people realize the psychological effects this has on students.
It's not the kid's fault.
It's not the kid's fault. They can't even get a work permit to go even and try to get, the money to pay for their school lunch. What it is, it affects it, because we do have ones where kids get, completely free lunch. That's fine. And there's ones that slip through the cracks. And I hate, even when I hear the other side, I get frustrated. And that's where my rants come in, when they're like, well, he's got a brand new cell phone. He could be, paying off that lunch. Well, maybe his parents just don't handle their money right. They just don't care that their kids.
So why penalize the kid?
But once again, the kid's being penalized. Right. That bothers me, that that kids are getting stuck in the middle. So doing what I've been doing with Stamp Out Cancer and Imagine Hillsboro, stuff like that, I have had the fortune of meeting a lot of people and meeting, political figures, and things like that. So I'm really hoping they'll be able to help when I do this this project, my project. And I'm starting to look outside of Hillsboro, on certain things. Like, what are some other things I like to work on? Because apparently I'm never satisfied. I mean, I guess I'm not. I guess I'm just, I want to be. I wish I could just go home and play video games.
But you can't sit there.
But the thing is, I can't. Oh, actually, I can't. I can watch TV all day, but still, I mean, there's a part of me. I'm like, I feel like there's problems that I could be solving. That's not gonna, it's not gonna take up my entire life, so like that. But thanks to you and things like that, I have a platform
right
now, and people do. I don't know why listen to me. I don't know why. I mean, they listen to my rants, but I do have people that believe in what I'm trying to do, which is making the world a better place. It's a pretty novel concept.
Well, I tell you what, did I expect you to talk about this? No. I mean, no, I blindsided you with just rant about something because I thought maybe you'd go off about something like YouTube. But this is actually a serious topic, and I appreciate that you brought it up. But what I do know about you, Zach, is that you're a guy that knows how to get something done and get a problem at least addressed, if not solved. And I think that this area is going to be much more thankful for it when you get going wherever you want to be going with this.
Yeah, no, I don't know where. I don't know where it's even going to lead, but I know that it bothers me.
Yeah.
And I know that...
and that's enough to get going.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to something more fun.
Yeah, sorry. Just kind of...
Yeah. What can't you wait for?
And it's weird because normally I do have like something I'm looking forward to. Like I'm going to Book of Mormon next week, like for the second time. I mean, concerts really are something big, and that's things I just can't wait for. Or a typical person, I can't wait for the weekend, but now that's with me every day right now for the next few months. But honestly, anymore, I can't wait till Fridays. And it used to be when I got off work, not go there, to where I can go to Gold Pan Records in Hillsboro because they're only open Friday and Saturday, and they put out their new albums, their new records, because I've become into a vinyl junkie now. I'm almost up to 100 albums since since December. Since I got a record player, and they have, I will give them a huge shout out because they have great prices there. I mean, I find the other day I walked out there with like 4 albums and I spent $7.
Yeah. Well, see, this will be your 4th appearance because I asked you even when you were coming over here. I go, bring Brian from Gold Pan.
And he couldn't make it. He couldn't make it. He got back to me.
Which means we're coming back, and because you've got the expertise in this, you will be the co-host on that show. So you have to come back for that.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah,
you got nothing to do this summer. You just told me
exactly. I can't wait till to go there and see what new
What's
things.
Next?
Yeah, what new albums they have out and stuff.
Yeah. And you can. I tell you what, I follow them on Facebook. And they do the best little Facebook ads. They've got T-shirts. Yeah, I like flipping through them. I'm like, oh, I haven't been over there. I don't own a record player. I'll say now. But I've got some equipment I think I can hook it up to. So I'm going to have to get one because there's some cool ones that have shown up online. I'm like, I just probably need to own that. If
it's fun.
Else. Yeah. Recommend a book. Like Zach's summer reading list.
This is where
it could be a list of one.
And this is going to get where it gets more serious again. So thanks to wonderful grad school, the last book I had to read is called The Color of Law. And it once again opened my eyes, but it's all about how the government used basically segregation to create the ghettos that we have, to create like the really bad areas of like cities by making sure
you put all the same people with the socioeconomic problems in one spot.
Yeah, because minorities couldn't buy certain housing in certain areas because they were kicked out because of like or they would raise the prices so high. People basically created the problem that we have now because they would get the par schools. Worse education. It's a domino or snowball. Yeah, it keeps going. It's a vicious cycle.
Which is what all in the news today because of all this, what do they call it? Like racial profiling, and they're calling the police on guys waiting in Starbucks.
Or taking a nap in their own, dorm.
Yeah.
It's
right.
And it's something that used to not affect me a lot because, just being in a small town, but going off to college, and the more knowledge is power, and the more I read on things, it's a really good book because it just opened my eyes, and I actually also showed that, man, some of these presidents that I thought were great presidents, I'm like, they were part of the problem too.
Yeah.
So that was
The Color of Law is
The Color of Law.
Yeah. Okay. What's the best show that no one's watching that you should tell them to watch?
You see, because I kind of like fall in line and watch some of the more popular ones. I really liked the reboot that they did of Lost in Space.
It was great.
That was so much fun. I just finished watching Evil Genius about the it was based on a true story of the pizza bomber.
Yes, I started it and I haven't watched that yet.
Oh,
so my
fascinating.
If you didn't have a TV show for me, I was going to go, well, give me anything on Netflix that somebody's got to watch. So
yeah, Evil Genius. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of good things honestly on Netflix. That's the cool thing about shows is anymore they're surpassing movies. I mean, it's,
the Pizza Bomber. What was the Pizza Bomber?
The Pizza Bomber. A guy walked,
to remind people.
Yeah, so the guy. This is back in I think 2003 in New Jersey. A guy walks into a bank with a shirt that's a little bit like kind of bulging out. And they didn't really notice he had a cane that actually had a gun, like that's like the cane turned into a gun. But that's anyway. He goes up and he hands a note saying, "I have a bomb strapped to me. Give me all your money." And the goal was he wanted $250,000. Well, he didn't walk out $200,000. He got like $9,000. But he walks out. They're already calling the cops. He didn't make it too far. They have him there, and he's telling the cops, "Hey, this is not me." He's like, "You need to take these cuffs off me." He's like, I didn't do this. Someone put me up to it, blah, blah. And then he goes, it's making a ticking noise. And next thing you know, it goes off. Bomb goes off, kills him. And then
Spoiler alert.
Well, that's in the very reserve.
It's in the very
so
first
then they're
20
trying
minutes,
to figure out who put this guy up to it. And
he was a pizza guy.
He went to go deliver a pizza and they strapped a bomb to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when that happened. I do want to watch that. I started it. I was on the road traveling. I started it one night in a hotel, and I'm like, if I start this, I won't stop. I need to go to sleep.
It's only 4 episodes.
Yeah,
so
which is nice.
That is nice.
So you can get through it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Let me play this little game with you. Overrated, underrated.
Ooh.
U2.
Wow. No, that one's a tough one because overrated. I mean, okay, I love their first albums and I love seeing them live. I mean, all that was great, but man, here lately, like, I couldn't tell you one song they've had, that I've, and they
in the last 10 years since they put it for free on your iPhone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I mean, okay, I guess I can't. It's hard for me to say actually over. They're a good band. Man, that was tough.
Bob Dylan.
Overrated. Great lyrics on songs, but I've just never been a huge Dylan fan. I mean, I'll listen to him. I mean, I like some of the songs, but I just never.
Kiss.
Oh, way overrated. Way overrated. But I'll say that in the nicest sense because I say it because I just never understood the huge fascination with them when I thought there was other, just as deserving bands. And I probably like more Kiss songs than most people. I mean, I grew up, my brothers, especially my brother Chad, is a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah. And
so I grew up, I mean, I can sing Beth. I mean, that's no problem. But I still think overrated.
Journey.
Overrated.
Is there? Okay.
Even though one of my friends, Dan Hines, will tell you that Journey's drummer, Steve Smith, is the best drummer ever. Which just blows my mind because every time he says that, I'm like, when the lights go down. It's like, where's the drums there? No, but I couldn't tell you their B-sides or things like that. I only know their hits.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of what Journey is. It's their greatest hits is just awesome front to back. But there's a lot of songs in there you probably don't know, that's every band.
I actually have the vinyl of Steve Perry because, Oh Sherry. Oh Sherry, yeah. I got it for $1.
Can you sing that?
No.
You're here in the studio, you can go, should have been gone. That was
should have been gone.
Knowing how. Yeah, that's as best as I can do. All right. Marvel movies.
Underrated.
I
think because I don't think people are realizing the magic that is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these movies, they're pulling out gold. Because, I mean, it's great stories. It's great everything. And so they deserve all the money coming their way because they're saving cinema. And especially to put together that many storylines, I mean, Infinity War was just amazing.
Right.
I mean, jaw dropped the entire time. Like, to be able to pull that off.
The new batch of Star Wars movies.
I can't just give like a middle thing.
There's no properly rated.
Because
that's not the fun of this game.
I'm going to go with underrated, and I'm saying that because maybe I'm in a movies mood right now. I'm bashing every band you just like brought out saying overrated, but no, I actually am really enjoying the new batch of Star Wars movies. I think they're so much fun, and they're what going to a theater should be like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good popcorn entertainment time, and I don't complain about. But then again, I'm not like that big of a Star Wars geek. I mean, I've seen them all, loved them all, but I mean the whining and complaining. I'm like, just be happy we have more movies.
Yeah.
And they're doing them, I mean, enough.
They're doing them pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
A bad Star Wars movie is still way better than most of the other sci-fi crap.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't even... Yeah.
And the thing is, I actually enjoyed those first ones.
Well, you had to.
Yeah.
Because they were like... They were a taste of candy that you really, really, really liked, and they were back, and you're like, this is so awesome. It's only in hindsight that you got to go back and don't like them. My son does this with me all the time. We'll go see a movie, and like we went and saw the new Avengers, and he's like, well, did you like it? And I go, yeah. He goes, was it your favorite one of the Avengers? And I go, I'll let you know in a year. Because I think a lot of times you see something, you hear something like, every time a band puts out a new record, it's best work we've ever done.
Yeah.
Anytime a new movie comes out, you know what? This way we just took everything we did in the original and made it better. No, not always. How often are sequels better than the originals? They're not batting 700 on that one.
Exactly.
But that's the kind of the point. A lot of times, you just don't end up with, over the course of time, the way you felt maybe the first time you saw it, just because it was new.
Yes.
All right, which leads me to my next one, the Oscars. Over or under?
Oh, underrated.
Underrated?
I make it a point to watch every Oscar movie every year, and I think I'm saying that is because of all the hate that comes that way, and not just because people think it's a political podium, but I hate that a lot of these really good movies that are great pieces of art. I mean, it really is. It's artwork. Don't get watched because it isn't a sci-fi blowing up CGI fest. Things like that, where there's some really, really good movies being made.
All right, what was your favorite one of the last Oscar season?
Well, there's definitely the Florida Project. I think was the most highly underrated ones.
Okay,
I mean, and that honestly,
and that was with Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
right?
Yeah, it's almost like you're watching a documentary, but it wasn't a documentary, and about poverty.
And they kind of guerrilla filmed that at Disney, did. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I was blown away by how much. I like that, but Shape of Water, I mean, I really did like that a lot, but I also found like Three Billboards to be overrated. I honestly didn't care for it that much.
Yeah. Now, you see, of everything that you said, I wouldn't debate you on, but I would also say, based on the previous discussion I had with Passage of Time, is that I think the Oscars are overrated, because I don't think it's necessarily if you did and I'm not taking credit for this, one of the Podfather, Bill Simmons.
Okay.
All right. One of the other prolific podcasters. He has this theory, and I agree with him totally, that if you did the Oscars 5 years after the movie came out, like you do every other Hall of Fame kind of a thing, you would get much different results.
I agree.
Than who actually won.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And he goes through the list, and you're like, you know what? Number one, I couldn't tell you who won this year.
Oh, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
I could tell you who won last year, only because they screwed it up. And it was probably one of the greatest live moments of TV I've ever seen.
They did do that,
yeah. But bottom line is, when you go back and you look at the greatest movies, if you just go pick a year and go back to, 1997 and tell me what the best movie that year was, which was probably Titanic, actually, now that I think about it.
That was 96, 97.
But you pick a year, 2004, I don't know. Bottom line is 5 years. You probably do know this.
It might have been. I think it might have been.
So you look at, if you went 5 years, later and redid this, nothing would probably have won, because the movies don't stand up. And it doesn't matter sci-fi, it doesn't matter blow them up, it doesn't matter star of the week or the year. It's just which movies hold up.
Yeah, and I agree. And there's of course ones that never even made it that should be even getting nominated. So it's. I see a podcast coming there. We could just talk movies.
There you go.
I mean, I could, yes.
There you go. I think this could happen. The only problem with doing a movies podcast,
it's not about Central Illinois.
Well, no, it doesn't even mean that, because I'm kind of branching away from that, as you'll see as we go through the summer. So, but bottom line is go on iTunes and search for podcasts about movies.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And it's two middle-aged overweight guys like you and me ranting
You're right.
about the same
You're
old
right.
crap.
Yep.
So I have no interest in doing that, actually.
That's true.
Except
That's true.
for a segment or two, which I think is fun.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I don't know. You got any over or underrated? Is there something you're thinking about? You go, that's really underrated in our time or really overrated?
I think the Summer Concert Series underrated.
Okay.
Yes. And overrated, man.
The What's That Like podcast?
No, that's very underrated, too. And I'm
Underrated?
saying from the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. It's enjoyable to listen to, no matter, who you have on there. It really is. Like, it's very well done. I mean, one of my friends started doing one in St. Louis. He was a band that I had for Stamp Out. And I remember that first episode, I was like, ugh.
Production means a lot.
Yeah. It was just more of like, there was no set thing he was going to ask the guest. It was just like, and it was Steve Ewing, actually. Steve Ewing, and I was like, But they've since on worked on a little bit more, but it does.
The show's got to grow.
It's got to grow. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have anything. I don't think that's overrated. I don't know.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say here, buddy?
No, this has been another fun time over here.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Yeah. Hey,
You're welcome at any time. So we're going to have you back. You come back with Brian from Gold Pan. We'll do an episode later this year.
Oh, sounds great.
Awesome. Well, there you go. That was Wags, Sir Wags. I want to thank him a lot for coming on. You can always follow everything that they're doing. Go to Hillsboro Summer Concerts Series on Facebook. You can follow Imagine Hillsboro on Facebook. And, of course, you can find Zach Wygal on Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and all those things. He's a prolific social media guy. We want to thank him for coming on. I want to thank all of you. We were talking about some of the reviews in the show and the one that Wygal left me not too long ago. And I really can't stress enough. I'll repeat how important it is to me and to the show and to the growth of it that you leave those reviews. So if you could take a minute, please leave me a review. If you leave me a 5-star review on Facebook, or if you leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play, wherever it is you're listening, TuneIn Radio, whatever it might be, I'll send you a sticker. How about that? I'm getting some stickers made for the What's That Like podcast, just a little oval sticker. You can stick it on the back of your car, stick it on a door, stick it anywhere you want to stick it. It's a sticker. So you can do that. I want to thank some of the past folks that reviewed. I don't have all of your names, but I was going back. So if you give me a review, I'll send you a sticker. I'll also give you a shout out on the show. So let me kind of go back to some of the past reviews. I want to thank Patricia Bond, Carrie Overby, John Harbison, Cheryl Mixon, Michelle Schwantner, Brad Carson of Memphis radio fame. Thanks for that. Todd J. Peterson, my buddy. Brad Skirtich. Probably one of our top fans of the show. Want to thank him. Andrew Shore, Sandra Usery, Michelle Hammond, Kelly Costandine, Dee Joanne, Pam Code, Lynn Esperer, Jamie Whitaker, and Karen Castleton. I know there might be some more of you. That's the last reviews I could find. I want to thank each and every one of you for engaging with the show and liking it and giving us a review and telling all your friends that you like it too. Really do appreciate that. And like I said, if you want to give us a review, just go on iTunes. When you subscribe to the podcast, it gives you the opportunity to give you a 5-star review. If you give me a 5-star review, like I said, I'll send you a sticker, give you a shout out on the show. Appreciate that very much. With that being said, we're going to end this show. It's already been long enough, and we'll get to Greg Shively. I know we normally talk about Greg at the end. Greg's going to be a guest on the show. Greg recently went to Cuba. We're going to have him on as an actual guest. We're going to clear some time and make sure that does happen. So with that being said, this has been your buddy Johnny on the What's That Like podcast. Peace out. What's That Like is available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Search for What's That Like. Subscribe today and never miss an episode. Streaming is available at SoundCloud.com and on the SoundCloud app. Follow What's That Like at Facebook.com/What's That Like Podcast and on Twitter at What's That Like Pod. All opinions of the guests of the What's That Like podcast are their own, not necessarily the views of the host or the podcast producers. We hope you enjoy this podcast serving Central Illinois and beyond. Peace out!